Hi, I'm Elizabeth Close. I'm a Pitjantjatjara Yankunytjatjara woman and an Aboriginal visual artist living on unceded Kaurna country. I've been practicing for about 20 years, and for about 10 of those years I've been doing a lot of large-scale work. So working in sort of public space, working with schools, and the reason I particularly love creating those larger works and works that are sort of in the sort of larger domain is because I really feel strongly about increasing the visibility of Aboriginal art and culture, for people around us. So I was fortunate enough to work with Scotch College, who wanted to bring a mural into their junior primary space, which acknowledged country and spoke to the work that they were doing through Brown Hill Creek, and that sort of really did bring in that sort of element of Aboriginal art and culture into that space. And then from there, as we did some hands-on workshops, mural development workshops, which I feel are always really important when working with schools, to basically get some design ideas, get the students thinking about how can we visually express this story. So there's a sense of sort of pride and belonging and ownership that the students can actually see within themselves in the mural. I can come into a space and I can paint a pretty picture, but it's more important for the students themselves to feel like they can see themselves in it. I took some of those ideas and we developed a couple of design concepts, and this is the one that we eventually kind of went for. And so we created this mural, and it speaks very strongly to, obviously the big element was the Brown Hill Creek element that sort of runs all the way through. We've got a sort of a warm sort of pinkish palette on one side and then a bluish palette on the other side, and that's to sort of recognise the sort of the natural elements, the water elements and the land elements. And it also makes specific reference to a couple of threatened and endangered species that are specific to the region, so the eastern long-necked tortoise and the mountain galaxis fish, which is a tiny little fish that's also threatened. And in the land area, in that sort of pinkish hue, we've got the southern bandicoot, which is critically endangered. And a lot of that also does very much tie into Aboriginal perspectives, because it's about caring for country, and continuing the work that Kaurna people have done. And so, and through there as well, we created some elements that spoke to some circular elements that speak to the idea of community. And so that was another really important part of that story as well. And so having murals like this is activating that, and it's increasing our awareness of it, and it's building on that. And it's doing it in a way that's exciting, and it's visual and it's vibrant, and it brings colour to a space. It took me just over a week, and it came with a lot of wonderful conversations and lots of interest and lots of chats, and it was a really wonderful experience, and I think the kids got a lot out of it, and I know that I got a lot out of it, and so yeah, it was an absolute joy to take part in.